Hi, I'm Julia, and welcome to the Much Muchier series, where I unlearn all the ways I've made myself smaller, reignite the spark I dimmed for others' comfort, and remind you of your own unexplored muchness. Now, you might be wondering, how did I end up here? Well, let's say it from the beginning. Okay, so how many lives do you want to live in this lifetime of yours? There was the dancer life, the exchange student life, the environmentalist life, the living abroad life, the shy girl life, the outgoing girl life, the party girl life, the relationship life, the single life, the star stable life. The star stable life I was really proud of. The directioner life, Lord knows I'm even more proud of her that one. But as all lives, they all come to an end. And today, yet another one of mine has. The university student one. 4 months after finishing my studies, my sister, mom, and I took the train to my university city. It was time for me and my classmates to officially receive our diploma and officially graduate, both mentally and emotionally. And what I'm wondering is, how did the girl who used to cry every week at the dinner table while her dad tried to explain the simplest level of math, how did she earn a Master of Science in Business and Economics? Like, how did that happen? I mean, besides hours and hours crying at the dinner table, of course. 4 years ago, a nervous and excited college freshman was moving to a new city, wondering how she'd manage a degree, living alone, 2 exchanges abroad, new friends, a new city, but somehow she did. And now she's ready to be reborn into something else. Everything goes in season, lives, whatever you want to call it. But although all lives come to an end, nothing really dies though. It just transforms. Each version of you lives on to the next, and it's painting just one continuous art piece. That is you. And that's what I think it means to live many lives. To allow change without clinging, and to allow what needs to move. Growth has a way of sneaking up on you until one day, out of the blur, you realize that you've become everything that you hope to be. And yet, strangely, you feel the same. When I look back, I remember the fears, failing exams, not fitting in, feeling behind, and both socially, academically. But you know, I passed the exams that I feared. I somehow handled the things that I thought were impossible. And somewhere along the way, I stopped caring so much about what other people might think. And I slowly began to trust that maybe life works out even when I don't overthink every single step. Believe me, I still overthink most of the steps that I still take. But it's a journey, and that's why we're here, to work on it. And that's kind of what growth is to me as well. You know, it's quiet, almost invisible, until it just hits you all at once. And you realize that that road never really ends. I mean, the whole reason why you never saw how much you've grown is because you're so focused on where you're going next, which is good. After lots of celebrations with friends and family, I left my university city behind for good, and with my diploma in my bag, I waved goodbye to my sister and mom at the station, who were going home to Stockholm again. But I wasn't ready to go home yet. I expected nostalgia to have hit by now. You know, like one last night being with everything that shaped me for years. But instead, I just felt, you know, like calm gratitude and like a readiness to just move on to the next chapter, whatever that is. But before stepping into that next chapter, I felt like I needed to ground myself a little bit in where I've come from, because lately I've been feeling like a little bit scattered. I know I want to move forward, but not really in which direction. So I needed to see some friends who ground me. I took the train south to Sudan. She's really the kind of friend who reminds you of like the joy of life and how creative you can be with it. She sees beauty, creativity, and like opportunities in places where people wouldn't even think to look. Or they look, but they don't see it. But soon it was time to say goodbye to Sudan and go even further south, to Bella. Bella and I have been friends since we were 6 years old. We go way back. And it's so beautiful to see like your old friends evolve. I can get so emotional when I just see the incredible woman that she's become. And I get so proud. I love spending time with the kind of friends who make you feel warm and safe, but at the same time like you can take on the world. Now it's time to take over the world, and I made my way to the airport once again. Becoming muchier isn't about reinventing yourself. You're not a self-development project or a concept to perfect. You already hold your muchness at your core. Growth is simply the process of taking down the barriers, the fears that keep you from hearing your voice. Fear of not being enough, fear of other people's opinions, fear of changing direction. I learned this recently when I turned down what I thought was my dream job, a role that I had worked hard for, sacrificed a lot to get, the one that I told everyone about. But a quiet voice inside started whispering increasingly, "This isn't right. And I realized slowly that accepting the job would have meant shrinking, molding myself into someone that I'm not. So I said no. And in that moment, I listened to the voice of my muchness, because I know that she rewards honesty with direction that holds meaning to me. There is no finding who you are. That person already exists. You just have to keep meeting her where she is. Remove the noise, the overthinking, the comparisons, the endless expectations you have on yourself, and listen to the voice within you. So how do you hear this voice? Well, honesty is the first step. Telling others how you feel, telling yourself how you feel, even when it complicates things, even when it's not necessarily what you want to hear or want to say, because expression is freedom, and every truth that you speak removes one more barrier between you and your muchier self. Every chapter in our lives ends in a small death. That does sound dramatic, but what I mean is that each ending gives birth to what comes next. The student becomes the explorer someday becomes something else. Nothing is lost. Everything just lives on through what it taught you and who it made you become. I still care about the environment. I've learned from every relationship that I've had. All my previous jobs have helped me in the next ones. Hearing a One Direction song still spikes my happy hormones like nothing else. The memories from my exchanges, the people that I met, they shaped me who I am today. And if I ever want to ride a horse again, I know all the necessary terms from Star Stable. I'm an expert. So maybe the point isn't to cling to any one version of yourself, but to let them all keep living on through you, through the current you. And if you're not honest with yourself, how can you hear the voice of your inner muchness? Your muchness is your true, honest self. How is she going to hear you when you call on her for direction if you don't even speak to her in her own language? And if you cannot hear her answer, how can you truly know where you want to go next? And now here I am, at the airport once again. You'll find out which one in chapter 3. Ready to turn my life around. Not because I want to escape, but because I'm curious about who I will meet within myself this time. As long as I'm honest with myself, I know that I will be rewarded with direction. So, how many lives do I want to live? As many as this heart of mine desires. As many as I have the courage to allow myself to be reborn into. Because it's not really about becoming someone new. Maybe it's about becoming muchier, more you, pulling down one barrier at a time, and allowing honesty to guide you through. But that is something for the next chapter. I'll see you then.